Hello, everybody. This is going to be Blackstar 300. It's for Shrimps4Sharks. It's going to be the part two of the podcast. If you haven't seen the first one with previous leadership members, Els NYT, Johnny Kaze, and CL Kitahoshi, there will be a link so you can go see that first one. This is going to be the part two with two more members of the team, and there will be a part three with a one-on-one for the last member whenever we can get times to do that. Um, Again, if you want to skip over my introduction, you can. 'Cause I know some of the people that may watch the first part will already kind of given a little bit. I will be probably, I'm not having a script, so it's not going to be verbatim. So there might be a little bit different stuff that I said in the first part. But the Shrimps for Sharks kind of came together in the Goodest community, and there was a point, and I was talking to all my leaderships at one point. There was a people that I was very close to, and I was a shrimp, and I decided to do something for charity. So I kind of started this Discord event. So around Shark Week and a little bit prior, we can kind of donate to multiple shark charities, which we have about 6 or 7 on the Discord that you can look at and feel free to donate to. And you will see the link at the bottom of the art that you'll see on the video, so you can go ahead and join us there. But it wasn't going to be just a solo project. It was supposed to be a 1 year thing, and we're now going into 2022, which we're going to be doing a second year. And with my lovely leaderships or admins or moderators, whatever you want to call them, I prefer leaders because they really help lead by example and really help me in multiple facets of the community. I decided to create it, and I was going to introduce you kind of behind the scenes of what I do here, as well as the people that I'm working with last year, coming in forth this next year. So that's a little introduction from me and kind of why I started this. And I'm just going to introduce you to two members of the team right now, which would be BlackForest, which some of you may know, Big Shrimp. You know, he does lurk sometimes, but it's a great person, very high energy, and an amazing person to be in the chats with. And we also do have Sebastian, who is one of the people that first came in and was was instrumental in helping us kind of pick up from last year. So why don't we go and start with you, Forrest, if you wanted to give yourself an introduction real quick.
Yes, I am Forrest. Very hardcore lurker. Uh, so hardcore, many of you probably don't even know my voice. But I have been a part of this since the beginning. I initially joined the community. It's like, I might as well do it. I don't really do much in these communities when I'm a part of them. I never expected to become members lead or member leader of any kind. I was just kind of there when it started. But most of my time is spent right now, at least for the community side of things. I'm mostly just an extra opinion, voice or opinion, and uh, I moderate the Discord to make sure nobody's trying to kill each other.
Very true. He is. We do have 7 people on board, so there is always at least an even split between things going. You know, there's at least on the last vote if it is a split, but for the most part, we all kind of agree on things. But yeah, you do very much. I know in the earlier days you did kind of help keep everyone kind of engaged. I know right now you are very busy, but I know that you engaged with a lot of people before and kind of helped them direct them to the channels that they need to go to. I mean, thank you for that.
No
Sebastian, what about yourself?
All right. Excuse me there. My name's Sebastian. I've been in Gura's community for a while, and yeah, when I first heard about this, I was really intrigued, and I thought that this would be a great way to contribute, not only just to get myself involved more with the community, but to contribute globally. And that's who I am and what I'm about.
Perfect. And what's funny is compared to you guys, compared to the last group, actually, is most of the questions they asked me the same questions for the part 1 and 2, and I'll kind of also inject my opinions as well. So if people who are maybe just joining us for part 2, they can watch this and maybe go back to part 1. But both you guys kind of touched up on some of the topics that I actually have planned out for you guys to kind of like bleed into one another. But the first one is basically going to be about, upon hearing about Shrimps for Sharks, what are your guys' initial thoughts? And you guys both kind of mentioned that you guys never really expected to be part of like part of the team where you guys wanted to kind of help a bit more. Do you guys have any more opinions, or do you guys have any more recollection of like the prior startup of this, or when it was going to be created, when I was kind of talking to you guys in the chats? Like, what was you guys' do you guys have any more to add to that? And if you guys don't, that's fine as well. No pressure.
So,
I'll. Oh, you go
no, go
first.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I do remember in chat you saying that. I remember the first time ever talking to you was when they were doing the room reviews, and you saw my Fire Emblem poster in the corner of my picture, boss. And so I was like, okay. But I remember talking to you in chat saying that you wanted to do this, and I was like, hmm, that's a pretty, I won't say important because it's not like directly related to anyone in the chats directly to anyone's individual lives, but it was a pretty what's a good word here, like influential way of
Mm,
going about to be part of a community by organizing a small grassroots charity organization. We
mm,
obviously we don't handle the money, so we're not technically the organization, but
yeah,
semantics. Uh, but seeing how the community grew to however big number we are now, and how much we raised last year was not what I expected. I never expected the community to get that big.
yeah. And kind of go off on your part. It's gonna yeah, we were like about like 150 if I recall. It's been once I checked the actual number, about 150. Got a bit of lurkers. I know right now we're on our downtime, which is why I'm kind of doing this kind of a 2021 wrap up, 2022 pre-show type of deal, which we don't know when 2022 Shark Week is happening. We just know it's in the summer, as it is always every year. Um, but yeah, like I said, I do remember that, and I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, so of course I see anyone with a Fire Emblem. I pretty much just latch onto whether or not that's the best intention to try to scare people out. But yeah, it was brought up in a chat, and like I said, it kind of gathered people that would be willing, because I know it was so hard because you don't know anything. And I knew a few people, but when you're trying to reach this out to people, who's willing to take the first leap? It's always those, and which is why you guys initially came on, because you guys were not only the first ones here, but you guys are also willing to help as well. You guys took that leap, and it's been great.
Yeah. So, talking about when we first got it all started, the thing that got me really involved was we were winding up to the 3 million and Gura's birthday.
Mm.
And that's what made me say, hey, I want to be active in something. I want to be part of a community. So when I saw you and I think it was it you and Niche talking about it in pre-chat?
Yeah. So Niche
Yeah.
was on, and we're both talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw that, like I said earlier, I thought, hey, this is a chance to get involved in the community and do something more, do a reach out, not just be part of a fandom, but be
Yeah.
productive.
Yeah, like I said, and I don't want to go too much into to niche. I was going to be a little bit, but I don't want to do too much regurgitation for when we do niche's area. But yeah, he was really instrumental on helping me with this as well, project as well. Like I said, not all you guys have been as well. But yeah, like I said, and like I mentioned, the part one for those is that's going to be kind of a recurring thing, just because I please, if you're somehow watching this before part one, like I said, click the link that will be showcased. Watch part one, because it's going to be with more people, and we all got different viewpoints and opinions, and more especially about the leadership team as more than myself, because it couldn't have been done without all me. Um, but yeah, we're definitely not any good at fan court, and I said that in part one, and I want to just reiterate. But yeah, we're more of a smaller community, more I guess homely than having like 20,000 people. Not like there's anything wrong with that, but you get a bit more of a home vibe here, and then you joining in, yeah, it definitely has like a tight knit community where we're able to donate and kind of help, and we're growing slowly, and I think we're growing at a good pace. And like I said, I think having you join in and kind of inputting the voice, like I said, I remember you like one of the first few people to join, if not like the third person to join, Seb. And I know when you came on, you initially went to work and helping us with the storyboard too, so it was good.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Which I think is going to be coming up to let me see, look at questions here. So yeah, I guess that's we can actually talk about that a bit because it looks like the only other part is basically how it felt becoming the leadership team in your role. So I guess we can kind of go straight into that question. So when you came into the leadership, or right before the leadership role, because at this point I didn't really know what I was doing. This is my first time really organizing a whole Discord event, and I'm still learning as I go along. There's still channel revamps, and we just kind of did a heavy one just recently for the 2022 year. Because of course, all Discord mods are unpaid. What do you know? So you just kind of have to go with it, and if you're not familiar, you learn as you go. But when you joined, Seb, we kind of talked about Els when she first joined and stuff, and I'll mention this since we kind of had her session, is she kind of did our first flyer, but I know when you joined, we were trying to get our first promotional video up, which you can see on our YouTube. But you came in and you actually did a storyboard. Like you wrote it up, and for everyone that's part of my leadership team, I never asked a single thing, which is why they're on here. You came in and I was looking at trying to get some video editing, and I can't do video editing myself, sadly, so we did have to have a community member, which is Van Munson, which I think I said last session. But you wrote the storyboard that essentially went into that video. So if anyone sees that promotional video, that was pretty much done by Seb. He wrote down kind of the key points. We took some good of videos and then we took some factoids. But what was your initial thought on kind of coming in before that, like, and offering your help to just make a storyboard? Like, you just kind of came in, I think, like the second or third week, you're already writing the storyboard, which I didn't even ask for. And you just kind of helped in that was a tremendous way.
Yeah, so everyone has their talents. Everyone has things that they're good at doing. One thing I'm good at is organizing, right?
Hmm.
And I saw an opportunity to use my talent and to also practice something that I wanted to get more into, which is media generation and creating videos. And for me, it was a win-win. I get to contribute to this community that's going to be doing good. And we have already and will continue to do good for the planet, right?
Hmm.
So it's a chance to contribute to something and practice skills that I already have and practice skills I want to develop. So for me, it was like perfect. It's this is me. This is what I can do. This is
Hmm.
where I fit, you know?
Yeah, like I said, and that's great because of course we all have different skill sets, and I probably could have written a storyboard, but wasn't anything I was thinking. Like, this is originally supposed to be a Twitter campaign. Like, this is supposed to be a Twitter campaign originally. You go on Twitter, you donate, but that would have been such a mess trying to find people to actually screenshot what they donated, tweet it. At least what we do now, even though you do have to join the Discord for it, it does make it easier, more manageable for people to kind of share and showcase that. I don't know how
Hmm.
much penetration we got in the community, or I know towards the end, Guda did kind of realize that we did kind of get gifts for her and stuff like that, and kind of helped with the 3 million. As you said, it was right around the 3 million, right around the birthday, because it was July of last year is when Shark Week happened. So, like I said, her birthday was in June. I think she hit
And
3 million in
and we started this like in May, so we cut it pretty close.
Oh God, yeah. So
Didn't
I don't.
we?
Yeah, I don't know if we
Did
touched
we?
on it in the first part, but we started this in May. We had originally we thought it was going to be in August. We thought we had
Yeah.
3 months, and we had a time crunch. I feel like I did talk about this a little bit in the past, but yeah, both of the people here, Seb and Forrest, they know the time crunch. We work well under pressure. I do say it's not something that I would like to admit that we want to repeat this year, which we're trying to kind of get forward. But yeah, that time crunch was something else.
Yeah.
Were
I
you gonna say
remember
something,
that
Seb?
realizing we had the date wrong.
Oh, yeah, that was, and it felt so bad because apparently it was supposed to be in August, and then they moved it up in July. I have no idea. Maybe it was a COVID thing or something, but
Yeah,
yeah. So
someone,
yeah,
oh boy.
yeah, we had the date wrong, and then we already tweeted out. And I don't like doing at everyone pings, even though it's for a charity. I really don't like it's, even though we only have like 100 some people. we're not like a huge charity or
People
discourse.
might be doing something important
Yeah,
and
like
not needing pings.
people that are 20,000. I don't know how people do at everyone pings in 20,000 Discord, but yeah, we had a date. I already at everybody, let them know that this was a date. Then I had to recorrect it, and it's not even about correcting it. That was the issue, really. It's we're trying to be as professional as possible when it comes to this. So when people look at what we do here, we do have the good motif that you see, which was again we talked about, it was done by Johnny Kaze from the last session, but we have reached out to cover regarding what we're using. We haven't heard anything back, so in course of case we ever get like a cease and desist or to stop, we definitely say that we're not a part of cover affiliation, which I hope no one thinks of that. We were just doing it for good, but we were really trying to do everything professionally. So when I had to reach at everyone to say this isn't the right date, this is the one, it really kind of felt fell back on me because I should have been checking, um, or I should have been looking at it. Because honestly, I don't know who told. I think it was like someone in the community too, which was even worse. They told me, said, "Hey, this is not the right date." And we did have the check, so that's probably the biggest blunder. But yeah, even though we lost a month, we went to overhaul, we got everything going in the Discord, and we had it launched up by the time Shark Week happened. But yeah,
I've checked. The dates have not been stated. I
no,
did
they
find
have
out there's
not.
apparently a Kiss a Shark Week thing. That's a thing apparently. Don't
Right.
kiss sharks, people.
Well, you can. You, you could kiss a shark. I don't know if I would be comfortable kissing them on the front, but if you can get close to the shark, you're good. Because I mean,
If
if you don't,
if you're going to kiss a shark, make sure you're doing it with people around. So
Just
if something goes wrong,
yeah,
ask the shark for consent first.
that is true. Always ask for consent, even if it's a
I
shark,
don't think a
human.
whale shark is going to care about consent, but because I don't. Eh.
So, I mean, talking about that, realistically, a lot of the videos we watched, uh, sharks had personality. So some sharks wanted divers to pet them and
Hmm.
interact with them, whereas other
Absolutely.
sharks did not. So it's
Yeah,
completely and totally feasible to kiss a shark.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that to a tiger or bull shark, mainly because those are, though I wouldn't
those
say
are
they're,
aggressive.
yeah, I wouldn't say there's really no bad shark, but there's definitely those are the more notorious ones that are prone to
Ter-
attacking.
territorial. Yeah, they're more
Yeah,
territorial than, let's say, a whale shark or a dog shark.
yeah. But I think they say the tiger shark is like the garbage, or maybe that's the bull shark. One of them they say like the garbage of the ocean to where like they kind of eat whatever, so they don't really have a discerned taste. So when they usually bite once, most sharks will bite once, those will take a second one. So yeah, they probably not the best ones to probably initiate your kiss of a shark. But if you do, and you happen to be in the Discord channels, or you happen to hear this on the Twitter, and you have a kiss of a shark, let us know. We want to know.
Well,
But
kiss a shark was back in January, so unless you're
oh
doing it for fun, but
yeah, if you're doing it for fun too, it's in January though. Is that it? Kiss of Shark Week's in January?
yeah, it was like January 23rd was the week of it or something.
I never knew. So the more maybe we can do something in January next year. I don't know if that's a inaugural thing. Who knows?
I don't know either. Oh wait, no, it did say it's like January every year
Every
apparently.
year.
It had dates going to like 2027.
Well, my Twitter failed me because I did not get any information on that. But yeah, just like Forrest said, there is no date. I am checking often, by the way, because I don't want to get it wrong this year. Because if I have to re-correct myself this year, oh boy. But hopefully that's not going to happen. We're going to be diligent and handle it accordingly this year. Um, I guess we kind of talked about some of these too. Like I said, they're really streamlined questions, but any particular memory that you guys have about yourself or any other S4S leader that you're fond of? And I mean like any memory. It doesn't necessarily have to
Mm.
be about another member, but if it is about another member or any event that we had, I know we kind of talked about the crunch, which I know is definitely one of mine. I think I did mention that in the last one because it was a really hectic time for me because, like I said, I had to correct everything and I felt super bad. But I also really loved that moment because a lot of us that are leaders, we never interacted with each other before. So, like, I talk to you guys one on one in the chat. Like we're all chumpas, we're all chumpies, we're all part of Goodest community. But that doesn't mean that we're a group. We weren't just a group of people, a group of 7 people that decided, hey, let's start this up. I just so happen to know Johnny. I just so happen to know Seb. I just so happen to know you, Forrest. Like I just happen to know you guys in the chat, and we talked for a bit. But for all of us to kind of come in together and work as well as we did, and not only that, but when I needed you guys to work, when that crunch happened, it was like a well-oiled machine. Like we each took a part of something and made it work. And I really think it's a testament to how well we are as a group, because some people, even in jobs today, you can work with a coworker for like 4 months and you just don't work well. You don't meld well. But for us, it just seems so natural. Like we just kind of grew together as like a small family almost within a short period of time. So that's kind of like one of my memories for me, is just how you guys all joined and how quickly we became acclimated to what we do.
Uh,
Yeah, I do
I
feel
guess.
like everyone kind of got along really well together, and we went from being strangers to being friends really quickly. So that was a lot of fun watching everyone grow.
Mhm.
Yeah, becoming friends. It helped that we kept the server private until we felt like we were ready. I put air parentheses around that because, in terms of ready, it was like we just had the server presentable for other people.
Yeah. Um,
We were that was we told Kai, one of the head mods for usually the other Holo
yeah, you could
fan
say it
servers.
too, which is good at Guardians, because they were our first joint cross promotion, because we're small, like we're still only 150 people. So
Yeah,
yeah, we did have to make that presentable, like you said, for Kai, because we didn't want to have these other Hololive discords and stuff like that be like, okay, what are you guys doing here? Which we still get questions every once in a while, like what do we do? Since it's kind of a weird thing, like you don't handle money directly. What do you do? Well, we're just kind of the middleman. We just kind of have like an event so you can donate. We just, as
hmm
you'll see, we raise money for the charities, not like we handle it directly, but we raise awareness is pretty much the most important thing that we do, is giving you that information. But yeah, we're
yeah. Uh, I say other EN servers because I'm pretty sure he's a mod for I think Mume's as well. But
yeah,
at least I think I don't spend much time in the fan servers. But I think my favorite memory, at least right now, is before the actual like week of Shark Week. I remember I would stay up really late just talking in the Discord server because right it was COVID at the time. I didn't go out. I didn't get really see my friends. I lived in a town where I didn't have my high school friends, so I just didn't get to interact with people outside of playing video games with my high school friends.
mhm,
So having people to talk to was refreshing and important to me.
yeah,
And I don't know what I've done during that summer. My roommate was moving out soon, so I was like, what am I gonna do? At least I have time to spend with my roommate's cat before he moves out. But
yeah. It was during the COVID period, so I mean, I didn't know about that's actually new information for me, because I know that you were super late, which is good, because Els, who's in Japan, it would always be lonely for her at times, until the next round of people would come on.
it
So I know
was,
that,
yeah, it was occasionally Kiaro.
yeah,
He's the
um,
only other confirmed person we had know in Japan.
that's
We
true.
don't know if anyone. We don't know if anyone else is. No one's ever come forward.
Yeah, and I know this is me kind of a crapshoot, but if you are Japanese and your English is, a little, you're able to understand a bit, we do hope that you do come in. We do have the channels organized, and we do have Japanese titles for you, as well as interpreter. Again, like
Yeah,
I
you
said,
can always ping Al's and ask for help.
yeah, so yeah, L's
Assuming it's
NYT.
not
Very popular
a
Chumbud, which I'm sure pretty much everybody knows. She's in Good as Guardians, does tons of projects. Um, but yeah, she's Japanese and she is part of our leadership team, and she can introduce you. She's did all our translations. So again, if you are a JP bro, we want to welcome you. So
way we can get out to the Indonesian bros someday.
Yeah.
Granted
Eventually,
that a lot of them probably know English,
that
but
is true because the ID girls do talk a lot. But yeah, if there was ever a point, which I mentioned before, I don't like adding channels unless it's necessary. But if it comes to the point, I would so be welcoming to have like a JP chat channel, opening up a JP area in Indonesia. Like, hopefully we do grow. I mean, that's really what we're here for, is to grow and earn more money. So if it happens and it's a reasonable thing, we'll accommodate for sure because we're trying to get as many people, even if I think there's been a few people here that aren't in the community but are interested in sharks,
yeah, we've had a
um,
few people jump in like that.
um, join in as well because I do tweet this to like Shark Weeks and hashtag Shark Week on Twitter and stuff like that. So if you happen to see it, even YouTube might put it in a shark algorithm. Who knows? But yeah, join. You don't have to like VTubers either. It's just we'll encounter a lot of people from the community, but we're doing this to kind of show that VTubers aren't a niche thing. Like I feel like you got your streamers, and then below streamers is kind of like VTubers.
I don't know.
And
Niche is really big into VTubers.
uh, good one. And for those that didn't catch that one, it's just because of Niche is our other leadership team. But
And he's
yeah,
always in a VTuber stream.
yeah, you will always find Niche. If you don't know who Niche is, then you probably
If
haven't
you're
spent
watching
time,
Ian stream, he's probably there.
most likely. Yeah, if you see the little Fruit Loop, you'll find him. Yeah, like I said, we hope you join. Like I said, you don't need to know about it. We're just trying to be a group of VTuber fans that are trying to kind of do good for the world and show that, that VTubing is kind of normal. It's just they're just streamers with the technically anime avatar, and there's real people behind it, and they should be treated as such. And fan base could be welcoming and do well. And speaking of doing well, um, what do you guys think of our money that we raised last year? Do any of you guys recall the how much money we raised last year? Let's see if you guys remember. I know that you're updating the sheets at the very end for us. When I was on my vacation, I know that you're updating the sheets. Do you
Yeah,
remember
it
without
was.
checking?
Wasn't it? I've been bouncing between 3,000 or 7,000.
What about
I
you,
know it
Seb?
was one of those two.
3,000, 7,000, right? Okay.
The number in my head was about 15 to 2,000,
Okay.
but I don't know. I don't really remember.
It's been a while.
Well, you were correct, Forrest. You were about 3,000. That's how much we raised collectively. Now, I will say also, Seb, you were also correct in saying 1,500 because 1,500 was our pre Shark Week
Yeah, it was
donation.
pre-week. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
that's what it was. Okay, okay.
yeah, so what we tried to do is we try to have our big bulk of our money raised between Shark Week, but really donating isn't all your thing. I know right now we're in a slow period, so no one's really donated in some time. But if you want to donate, you can. I kind of donate a bit because I have America's Shark Conservation on my Amazon Smile. So whenever I do an Amazon order, it kind of goes to that charity. I've only raised
Mm,
$2, but anytime I
I
make an
should do
Amazon
that.
order, it does go to there. So at least it feels like when I do make a
I
small
should,
order on Amazon, it does go to a
I should,
charity.
I should do that. I have a pre-order for a game that's $120 because it's a
Yeah.
collector's edition. I
The
should
only
probably put
thing
that
is
on
you
there.
got to make sure in Amazon Smile, which I kind of put it on my
Yeah.
tab because if you go to Amazon and you're not on the Amazon Smile, it won't take effect. So you do have to make sure you're typing Amazon Smile. But yeah, ASC American Shark Conservation or I think it's conservation or conservatory.
Yeah, you're probably thinking mixing up with conversation.
Yeah, but they
The other
are
sucks.
the only one of the charities that we deal with. And I say you deal with, we don't have like any partnership with them, but the ones that we lead people to, they're the only ones that are on the Amazon Smile program right now. So yeah,
The
if
closest
anyone,
thing we have to a partnership is the named sharks,
yeah, yeah,
the adopt a sharks.
yeah, which was we did adopt the shark for Gutta and Bloop, which
That
Seb,
was a spur of a moment birthday thing that
yeah.
Seb wanted to do.
Yeah, so Seb wanted to do a good as a birthday, which we're all kind of working on getting it done. But he bought the Gouda one for the birthday, and I did the one for Bloop, and we packaged that into a birthday and a 3 mil gift. They're so close together, so we're trying to find out
Hmm.
what the best way to do it. Seb um, Seb decided to spearhead that to make the first gift for her birthday, and then we did the. So yeah, there are lemon sharks out there too, but that's pretty much the only partnership that we do have. But did you want to talk about the good shark that we looked into? I know that was kind of a thing that we were all looking into. There was like two or three different sites that we're looking at to getting sharks, and I know that you got the good one and on behalf of the S4S community. You want to talk about that a bit, or?
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, there were a lot of different ways to go about it. There were a lot of different places. But the place I went to, I liked it because they're not only a research organization, but they also bring people in and introduce them to the sharks. So they're kind of doing similar things to what we're doing, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so it just, to me, it meshed really well with our goals to be able to do that and to do it for a landmark. I think that really helped bring people in too, you know?
Yeah.
Um, the fascinating thing, talking about lemon sharks, I think they live a good portion of their life until they're about what would be the equivalent of a teenager in a coral reef as a family,
Hmm.
and then they go out into the sea. So it's also kind of nice knowing that the sharks that we adopt are somewhere that they are actually being taken care of until adulthood,
Hmm.
much like when we take care of our young, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I thought that was really good, and I think it worked out for us really well.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how successful we'll be, but I'm hoping that I will be able to email the charity, the place that we got it from. Honestly forget where we. I think it was oh boy, I'm not even sure where we got the lemon sharks from. I know it starts with the B, but I do pl-
Yeah,
I do plan on either
hold on,
way.
I'll find
He's gonna look them up real quick as we go through this. Um, but I do plan on emailing them. I don't know because they put taggers on them, of course. And if you guys are wondering about the tagging is non-harmful. They put them on the dorsal fin, and it's basically like an earring or like a piercing, anyways. And it just real quick goes right to the cartilage. It doesn't do any harm. They don't feel it. Most of the time they'll be unfazed. They'll quickly tag them as they're going through the boat. So don't worry, we look at a lot of this stuff before we do it, which is one of our things that we like to do. We don't want to just give you something and say, hey, you take it without researching it. And if you want to research anything that we do, please feel free. But as far as the tagging goes, it's not harmful. But hopefully when it maybe gets information regarding where Gouda's lemon sharks at, maybe where bloop sharks at. But yeah, maybe they're chilling with each other, or they most likely did come in contact with each other at some point. But hopefully we can give you some information for that this coming year.
Yeah. So like I was saying, they're family. They're part of the
Mm,
same family. So they're chilling in the same reef and they'll be there for several years. I forget how many years.
yeah,
Um,
it's a while though. Yeah,
yeah, they will be there for several years. And the place is called Bimini, Bimini Shark Lab.
there you go. So if you guys do want to get a shark, donate a shark to maybe a loved one that you know that loves sharks, or get your own shark, they're a great place. I think we looked about two or three, and this is one that we decided to go with just because it seemed a little bit more than what they did packaging wise, um, a little more friendly and had more information on their site as well. Um, but with our $3,000 that we kind of going back to that, and we kind of took a little detour on that. How successful do you think that was? Like what were you guys' thoughts on that? Like we raised 1,500 pre Shark Week, then we raised another 1,500 during Shark Week. What is your guys' thought process on that? Like I know for me, this was supposed to be a one-time thing. I really didn't expect. We only had, I think, about a third of the people that donated. I think even less than that. So I think I have like 150. I think maybe like 30 to 40 people donated, which we appreciate all the people that are there. Some people kind of help spread word of mouth. And then, of course, we have our donors who donated. But $3,000 between about 150 people. What are you
Oh
guys'
yeah,
thoughts on that?
we have a. I just looked at the numbers of people. We have 169 currently.
169. Okay. So a little
Nice.
bit more than 150, but I think at the time we were at 150,
Nice.
but 169 currently.
Hmm.
Yeah. My thinking is the money is great and all, but it's not as important as the fact that we created a community which can then propel this forward, right?
Hmm.
Because year one, honestly, year one, I think we raised more than we expected. But
Yeah.
year one is all about setting up for year two.
Hmm.
And I think halfway through, we were all pretty certain that that's what we wanted to do.
Hmm.
And I think we were very successful in that. And when year two comes around and we start talking about it and getting everyone involved again, I think the server is going to kick off again and it's going to be, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
It's going to be really good.
I
Get
will have
more
to do it.
service to partner with.
Yeah, I will have to do add everyone pings despite me not being one to it. But some people are lurking because we're not doing anything right now. But hopefully, like I said, you mentioned more community effort, more people joining. I'll be back in the good at chats a bit more. Maybe Forrest will get out of the
Come
shadows
out
a bit.
lurking.
Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
crawl. I'll crawl out of the bushes like the gremlin I am.
yeah. For like 10 months, he'll lurk, but he'll definitely come around for Shrimps for Sharks. No pressure. He'll definitely poke his head out and say hello to you guys, but he doesn't bite. But what
Hard.
did you think? What did you think about the 3,000 raise? What was your thought on that?
A lot more than I expected. Honestly, having a grassroots organization to raise money, I wasn't expecting to raise more than 1,000 because you never know how generous people are going to be.
Hmm.
So when we broke 1,000 within like, God, was it like 4 or 5 weeks? Because
Yeah.
some people were really generous.
Yeah. Like
I
I said, we've
think
had people donate pre, and we had to tell people not to
was
discourage them. Like it
didn't
is
Lily
for
donate like almost 500?
I think so. Yeah, we actually Niche definitely did do a 500. I did know that for sure. But we had
Yes,
some
I
really
think.
generous people. Like it was amazing. Like to the outpour, it was amazing.
Yeah, we had some people donate multiple times to the multiple of the charities.
And you did mention Lily. If anyone does know Lily, actually, she's probably one of
The most active non-mods
one of
for
the
us.
most
Mm.
active not even that. I got to be honest. I learned a lot about sharks starting this. I mean, I knew a little bit about them, but by God, she loves sharks. She talks about her IKEA shark, her blahage. She talks about her shark. What do you call like a shark sleeping bag? She has like so many shark
Yeah,
plushies. But she
she's really
actually
tall, so she barely fits in it. I
yeah,
remember
but
her talking about that.
she loves sharks. So if there's one person in the community that I kind of give a shout out, I guess we didn't really do it in the last one, but bring a great point. Is she loves sharks, which is great because not only is she in it for the donation, but she is a part of it for the community. Um, and that's great that we have shark enthusiasts because I don't know how many people that we can really say that are shark enthusiasts. Yes, we like Gouda. We all have some kind of interest in sharks, I think, as a default because Gouda's
We
kind of
love all
opened our
shark
eyes.
tubers.
Yeah, but no one really comes close to Lily to being like loving sharks. Like I can't top it to be honest. But
I don't think
yeah,
anyone in the server can.
no,
Like even with Gura, I don't think anyone can top her except for maybe Seal. Seal.
yeah, that is true.
Those two are in a fight for who's the top Gura fan in the Discord.
That's most likely. But yeah, kind of going by what you guys said. Yeah, the 3,000. We really did raise the community, and I know the last session, I think Johnny's mentioned because he's kind of we're all into independent VTubers at least at some point, but there's some people I know Watson did her charity event, which was of course hugely successful because they have a lot more entertainment to give. I know we didn't do
Much better.
donations or goals in our first one. We plan to do it on the second year to entice people maybe to donate to reach a certain goal, but we're not entertainers as like Hall Live VTubers. We're not on that big echelon of of entertainers. We're just kind of like normal people. But there are
Seb's
people.
taking up that mantle.
Yes, which we're gonna get into if he wants to. We'll definitely do a plug. Um, but we don't have that. But there's some people that aren't able to reach that. They're independent. They're not able to reach to that point. But let alone grassroots startings, there really is no cap. And honestly, going into year two, the whole thing is really just if we can just make a cent more, a dollar more, That's improvement. If what Good has taught us anything is um, practice makes progress, and if we can practice what we do here and give it to you guys, if we could just raise $1 more, that's great. And what you said, and like I said, I already had a plan to do that. But Sebastian, did you actually want to talk about that right now? Perhaps your hobby, what you do.
Um,
If you want, that's okay. We can put it in real quick for you.
I don't really want to shout out my channel right now or anything like that, but
You're
yeah,
fine.
it's going and it's going well. I'm sure if you guys want to find me, you can, but
Do you want to say what you do? Even if you don't want to put your channel out there, kind of.
well, not too much, just because
You're fine.
my actual first name is attached to this.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So
You're
yeah, that's
good.
cool.
You're
But
fine.
yeah, no, I'm out there, and you guys can find me.
There you go. Check them out, guys. Um, but let's see. So going forward, we're almost kind of wrapping up, and we actually talked a lot more on sharks than compared to the first one, which is great. Which, like I said, it's I do most of the questions aren't shark related, but we're kind of got 2 more left before we go into the last closing statements. Um, what would your opinion be for the second year? Any personal opinion you guys have for, um, or actually, I skipped one. Personal goals. What would you guys' personal goals be? Like, what do you think we should be going forward into the 2022 year? Like, what do you think maybe for you guys, or just I guess group goals? I said personal goals, but what just say more personally for you, because I know you
Uh,
guys might have a different answer. What are you guys looking
it's not
for?
really. I don't really have a personal goal, but as a team goal, I remember towards the end of Shark Week or right before it, I can't remember when, one of our community members asked about a website,
Hmm.
and we decided no on the first year just because how little time we had.
Hmm.
But with how much time we have now, we could easily set one up.
Hmm.
But what we do with it be a way of tracking the money better than by hand on the server or
Yeah.
what. Having something out there would help a bit.
Yeah. I actually did talk to Johnny about that, and I'm not too sure going to go for it. Mainly, I think it's kind of more behind the scenes stuff, but of course it's cool. I
Yes,
don't
I
think it'd work
gossip,
too much
stuff like
because um, it. I feel like the tracking is the whole thing about it is not to be like an important because people share the screenshots into the Discord of what they do, just so just for the Shrimps for Sharks Twitter channel can post it up to show our donations. Um, and yeah, we do track it by hand. We do manual. We do have an Excel sheet, and we do track them in the Discord. But I feel like we're gonna lose that. I feel like we're gonna have too many channels open. That was one of my biggest fears about the website is we're gonna have people going donating. We're not gonna know when people could still do that on their own. Like if people want to donate to a charity, they're more than welcome to, and we won't know about it. But if we do have the website, we probably won't have any of that communication or community. They'll see the website, and of course, we don't really have anything for it. Like we aren't an organization. Just in case we're not, we're. I want to iterate this as many times as we can. We aren't an organization. We aren't a charity. We're just kind of an event. We're kind of a group of people. So if we do have that website, we really don't. I mean, we do have this about us on the Discord. We are kind of doing this to show kind of the leadership team. But other than that, like we really don't have. The only thing that's going to be on the website technically is like that, maybe our avatars. They're just going to like our little avatars on the
yeah.
screen.
Probably how much we raised, and
Yeah, and of
that's about
course,
it.
like
Maybe blurbs about the charities we have
yeah, pretty much just gonna be
selected.
charity links. Just gonna give you that, and in theory, it could work, and I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not sure if it's going
Yeah,
to happen this year, but it's just really finding out how to implement the website into what we're doing, and to make it work. Because that's the biggest thing is if we do it, we got to do it right. So
always take some more members from the community.
yeah, get someone else with website
Probably,
design, even though
probably
Johnny's.
two. Probably two, so we don't have an even number, so we're not evenly split on anything.
Oh yeah, so we don't have to like have a fight because it happens all the time. We're over here fighting because we're
We
at
we
split
had we
votes.
had us we had splits before CL joined
Yeah. Well, we
because
actually
he
had.
was
Yeah,
because he was our seventh member who we talked over discussing it join our team because he was just so active for us, and he helped us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and not to be a for a clout thing, but I mean, who doesn't know CL? So if CL wants to come help, and he's really active in joining and doing so, like so we talked about it last one. You go to a Goodest channel, you may find
He's there.
niche. You may find niche in other Hololive Ian's channel, but if you go to a Goodest channel, you're gonna know CL Kitahoshi. Like that's if you don't know who he is in the Goodest channel, then you're not in the chats or you're not watching the
I don't know
super
how active
chats.
he's been recently, but
Yeah,
I don't really pay attention to chat right now. I usually have chat closed
because you're lurking.
because I'm lurking. I also watch on my TV through my Xbox.
But personal goals for you, so what are you thinking? What do you or if you can pick you off back off the website if that's also something you guys can have the same answer. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold you guys to doing different things.
Yeah. I really think we need, as for an organization, we just kind of need to make things a little bit smoother, make sure that everything progresses. And I'm actually looking at the calendar right now and going, oh, geez, it's kind of late because it is April already.
It
I
is
know
April.
it is getting
Um,
close to May where we kind of had our, it is, yeah.
I think I think we need to do all the things we did last year again,
Hmm.
um, but with a little bit more forethought, you know?
Yeah, which is why I'm
Um,
planning it now. I have a sheet, and it's really hard because I don't also want to promote right now. Like I know I'm trying to get all the prep and the revamp, getting this out here, like this whole podcast type situation. But like we have no dates yet. But it may happen in May because I know in May is when we had the original date, even though it was wrong. Because I know
yeah,
it's gonna happen soon. Like I said, July, June, July, September. Yeah, right. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, July, June, July, September.
August
It,
doesn't exist.
wait, June, July, August. Damn it.
September is the ninth month.
This is why I have the leadership team because I apparently don't know my month. I just completely
uh,
axed out August.
To be fair, Sept, the root word of September is 7, but Julius Caesar and Augustus,
We're
the other
done
guy,
with this
Augustus,
conversation because it's gonna.
shove.
They're not
We're
gonna
getting into
trust me.
science and history.
We're gonna cut
Sorry, I'm
this.
a history major in school.
We're gonna cut this section out. Thank you. But no, no. Yeah,
uh,
June, July, August. There you go. Those are the months. Those are when it happens. So it should be soon. But like you said, I do want to. It is approaching to May. It's kind of hard to tell people. I guess I mean they could join, but you know what happened last year, right? Right when May, once we kind of had the soft launch, right when it happened,
mhm,
people would come up and, you know, we're going to get it this year. I have no doubts that even though we have the rules and the guidelines and a lot of channels, it's a lot to read at first because we do have a lot of information and our channels are very, very heavy loaded. But again, it's lots of stuff we want to share with you, which is why it could have never exist or happen in a Twitter campaign. But it's really hard to tell people like, oh, Shark Week 2022. Well, when is it? Well, I don't know. Um,
We're
so
at the
I'm,
whim of National Geographic.
yeah, like
yeah,
really just kind of waiting. But yeah, as soon as it hits, as soon as I know, that's gonna kind of be the 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 spurring point for the 2020 year. Be like, okay, we're ready to go. As long as we have the concrete date and it's good. Um, like I said, all right, all this right here is prep. But yeah, I'm definitely not looking. Like I said, I am aware that is inching towards May, so it's almost about a year since we kind of founded everything. I think it's like May 21st or 22nd we opened up. Um, but yeah, if any of you guys, again, if any of you guys know when the date happens, let me know in the Discord because we can get that out.
yeah, yeah, for sure. We can
Mhm.
also do a to be announced as well, right?
Yeah, I do have the
But
TBA on the Discord because I have like pre-made areas for like the Shark Week event channel that have like TBA 2022. And of course, on the Twitter page, if any of you guys are still seeing the Twitter stuff, which this will go up on the Twitter once it's uploaded to YouTube, once we get all the sections done. Um, it, I did do a TBA because I don't know if people that are looking at our Shark Facts on Twitter being like, when is Shark Week? Because I do put the tag. hashtag Shark Week 2022, but there is no date. There is literally no date for anything. And the reason for that is
Mhm.
because we don't know anything. So I did put that on there just in case any of you guys are wondering. Like I said, and by the time these come out, I don't know when I can get Niche onto a part three, hopefully soon. But I don't know when. By the time these come out, maybe we'll have a date for you guys. Maybe by the time part three.
Probably will.
Um, I don't know if I'm going to get Niche in this week or not. Everybody's busy. It really is hard when you got 7 people, which is why this is in part two. Because yeah,
Especially when you niche are in wildly different time zones, three
yeah.
hours apart.
I mean, like Seb's in Canada. You're over in Midwest. Els is in Japan. Johnny's in East Coast. I'm West Coast. I mean,
You
shoot,
need someone from Europe.
we got someone in the Discord from Europe. So, but
Yeah, we have some European Discord, but no one on the mod team.
we're gonna go worldwide with that's the 22 goal. That's it. Worldwide. We're gonna get some
A
from
mod for
Australia,
every continent. We gotta
except
get an African and South American fan.
yeah, except for Australia because they
Mhm.
don't exist. Just sorry for any Australians.
They're in sorry, Bay
Mythical
and Sana.
continent.
Um, but going off of what that is, what would your opinion? What would make the second year better than the first? So we talked about the personal goals, and we mentioned those. But what would make, in your guys' opinion, second year better than the first? Besides the first year being, of course, just such a nostalgic and monumental one for us, there is always a way to improve. Nothing's ever perfect in life, and if you think it's perfect, you need to step back a bit and analyze it because very few things in life can just not be improved any further. And for us, I know there's definitely a bit that we can do. And I guess before I say something that I would say, what would you guys probably take a crack at?
So, if I were to say what would mark our second year as successful,
Hmm.
the first year I said was successful because we established and we reached out. The second year, I think we would be more successful, or I would consider us more successful if we were more confident and more aggressive in the things that we do, you
Hmm.
know? The
Absolutely.
first year we should have figured most of that out. The second year, I think this is when we probably want to, if you will, take risks, reach out to people that we didn't reach out to before, reach out in communities that we didn't before, and be more than just a thing that happened in Gura's chat and really become a thing that is happening on its own from now on, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, Els handled promotions most of like I said, she think handled it for Hololive English fan server. She went to most of the Myth servers. Of course, now we have Council, so there's going to be
And Iris.
yeah, Hope, and even then, there Els is in Japan. So like I said, I'm a huge fan of Luna. I'm a Lu Knight, so I might be able to get some people from there. But yeah, definitely promoting to get more people in. Like I said,
Might
we
get
don't need
some
to.
Sojo
Yeah,
thanks to Johnny.
yeah, we don't need to have like 1,000 people. Not the same. I'm gonna have like a cap on who to join,
God.
but um, as long as we get people more outreach, hopefully we get some more JP bros. I would love to have more for Els and Kyoto.
Yeah, I'd love to have more overseas people just to mingle with,
Yeah, I
because
know
that culture stuff is fun.
yeah, other servers they have it to where you can do language learning. And even though I'm not going to have it be like a language learning server, everyone can learn something. I'm sure a lot of JP bros love Gouda. Gouda is a huge phenomenon, so there's a lot of people wanting to learn English, and vice versa. There's a lots of us in the server that are English speaking that just love the JP side. And you talk about people that are like Coco, who first introduced a lot of the English market to VTubers and to that side. So it'd be really nice to get a mingling of both people. Um, but yes, I would like to be more aggressive. And you're right. The first year should have been ironing out all the kinks. I mean, there's probably still going to be some bumps in the road, as life is. But for the most part, all the rough stuff, we laid the foundation last year. So now it's just a whole bunch of additions to the house and expanding this and here. But most of the rough stuff should have been done last year. So here's for smoother sailing waters, pun intended, for the second year. Um, did you have anything more on that for us? I didn't know you kind of did jump in on there with having more overseas bros jumping in with us. Did you have anything more, or is
On
that kind of
extension, like I don't know, overseas people just growing the growing the community in general would be considered a success for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even if we don't break how much money we raised last year, I just want the community to grow for the most part, but not to a point where it's hard to mod.
That is true. There's a point where it's
I
like,
don't want
too much mods because we only have, I don't know how much the other really, like 20,000 Discord. I would go nuts. Like the only time I really kind of had a server before was when I was a gaming server. I was like a guild leader for a game and I had like about 200 people. And that was kind of a nightmare in a sense.
this.
But
This was my second Discord server ever. The only other one was a server with just two of my friends.
there you go. So this is
I was
much more.
I was just like, I'm new to this. I am young. I don't know what I'm doing.
Um, but yeah, a community is great because I feel like the most important thing that we're doing is not only raising money or having people donate. And I want to make sure I clarify that because again, like I said, I guess in a sense we are raising money, but it's going to the channels that we're donating to, but also raising awareness, which will kind of lead me into the next question I'm going into is shark information that we've learned. But raising awareness is a lot of people have a very huge negative connotation about sharks due to the movie Jaws, which will be said in many documentaries. You'll watch a documentary, that movie from the 70s for nearly 5 decades, or actually been past 5 decades now, has really changed the media outlook on sharks. And
Especially great whites.
yeah, especially gray white. So if we could give you some information on our Twitter, like if you see our shark facts, if you watch our YouTube videos, which are very short, like 1 to 3 minute videos, which are split,
Excluding the stream VODs.
yeah. If you could gain a little bit of information or an awareness about sharks and how they're not like these evil killers, yeah, shark bites do happen. Car accidents happen. Like there's these things, and honestly, they happen less than car accidents. You're more apt to get in a car accident than a shark attack. They're just extremely fatal. I'll give you a shark fact now, which is one I always like to say is they're extremely fatal because one shark will usually take a bite to find out what you are because they don't have great eyesight, and if the visibility is not that great, and they think you're a predator or a prey, they will take a bite to kind of or bump through with their nose. But unfortunately, with their big teeth and serrated or their big mouth and serrated teeth, one bite is extremely fatal in most cases. So it may be one bite, that one bite could be an arm, a leg, or just a fatal killing bite. But you'd be more apt to just die in a car crash, as bad as it is, than a shark attack. That's kind of like a split between it's kind of the shark facts and um, talking a bit about um, shark information. But what did you guys learn? Did you guys learn a bit more from what you guys used to know about sharks before even after Goodus? 'Cause I know Goody used to do the shark facts, so I know we each learned a little bit about Goodus shark facts when she did them. But when you guys kind of came on, was there a bit that you guys learned coming in, or even maybe prior? How much information do you guys have prior to even Gooda or Shrimps for Sharks? Was it vast? Were you always interested in sharks? Like, what's
Well, my information prior was not like massive, but wasn't small either. I've
hmm
always known that Jaws was a big cause for the current phobia of sharks. Not like some shark phobias founded. You can have a traumatic event with a shark. You could just be scared of how they look. Some
hmm
sharks are naturally more dangerous than others, like great whites, bulls, and tigers. Stay away from them. But you can approach lemon nurse sharks, whale sharks. Be careful with whale sharks just because how big they are, though. You can approach them with relatively ease. But coming into it, uh, and then as a part of the community, speaking of lemon sharks, I didn't know they existed until we did the birthday thing. They had no idea they existed as sharks.
Yeah. Funny enough about that, I actually just did one on the Twitter. I think it's like over like yeah, again, I don't know, so it's gonna be a very huge disparity of number here, but I think there's like I want to say there's over 400 species or species of sharks. It could be 200. I know it's a couple hundred though. I do want to say for sure that's probably about 400. But yeah, I didn't even know that there's that many species of shark, like actually like unique sharks. Like you got your tiger sharks, you got your lemon sharks, you got your great white sharks, but there's apparently 400, which is honestly quite vast. Like imagine it. Like think of dog breeds. Like there's probably hundreds of dogs, but 400. I mean, there probably is a 400 dog breeds, but that still is a vast amount of numbers for.
More than you'll ever see.
Yeah, like I could probably only name you like 20, if that, which we're not going to do because I'm not going to show you my lack of dog knowledge. But yeah, over about 400. So yeah, there's definitely more that I have yet to learn, and hopefully I'll learn more this year. Anything that you've learned, Seb? Unless you had anything else to add on onto your end, of course.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I just looked it up. There are over 500 species of sharks,
500. There you go.
and the dog breeder list currently includes 190 dog breeds.
Oh, look at that. There's a
But
dog fact
there's
for you guys. Seb has put a
yeah,
dog fact. So,
And fun fact, there's a shark breed called dog sharks, or technically it's dogfish, but they're
wait,
sharks.
is it really?
huh,
Yeah, dogfish are sharks.
Uh, I'm going to be looking that
interesting.
up right after this, to be honest with you, because I did not know that. And that is a brand new shark fact for me and for you guys too. So look at, there you go.
But yeah, no, there's so much on the planet Earth that I don't think you would ever run out of facts for any sort of thing to learn.
Especially with the ocean.
But yeah, the ocean is maybe about as well known as some places in outer space. Like there are entire trenches that we couldn't even reach for decades. I
Yeah,
think I'm
yeah.
not sure if we've even hit the entire ocean floor yet.
No, we
I
did
think
not. We
honestly it's
did not.
impossible. It's like it is like space. It is like the as
We
cliche it
know more
is.
about space than our oceans.
Yeah, I mean, because how deep down? I know James Cameron went down super far, but there is huge trenches. Marianas Trench is one. There's places that you just the pressure is too immense. It'll just crush whatever is there. But yeah, there's more lurking sharks probably way deep down in the dark waters in those.
I can't imagine how freaky they look being that deep.
Oh yeah,
Some crazy stuff lives that in that depth.
yeah. But yeah, there's probably shoot. You said over 500. There's probably a good 100 more maybe down there. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And who knows what else is down there?
That is true. I probably wouldn't want to go. I mean, I'll probably stick to the surface level sharks, which is probably because it's gonna be extremely dark down there, so you're not gonna be seeing anything anyways. And I can only imagine if you have a light down there, how jarring it would be. I think honestly, when you go down there, I think you have to have a very special light because they do live in darkness that probably would upset the ecosystem. So you can't just be going in there with like a submarine with like a freaking huge beam on, because that's just gonna completely um, mess up everything. It'd probably have to be like infrared and night vision, whatnot. Um,
This is what I remembered seeing.
I will.
Uh, Go ahead.
No, you're gonna say something. You're good.
Uh, I remember reading recently or seeing on like Twitter or something about like a newer shark species discovered, and uh, apparently there was a glow in the dark shark species discovered in New Zealand.
Really?
Huh.
It's
Look
called the
at
kitefin shark.
look at that. See, Forrest over here giving you the shark facts that I didn't even know, and that's great because this is what I wanted to close out the segment with. This and more shark talk that we had. I know the part one we really didn't have much, but see, this is why he's here. He's able to give you shark facts, and to piggyback off his shark fact. I did look up the dogfish, which is I was very interested in, so I had to look it up as I'm doing it. But it states right over here by the oceana.org marine life. I just kind of typed it into my page. I didn't click the link, but the top thing came up says dogfish sharks make the second largest order of sharks at 109 species. Um, but yeah, second largest with 119 species, but the second largest order. And I know for any of you science people out there that know, I know very briefly you got like kingdom, classes, um, genomes. I'm probably out
Phylums.
of order. I'm
There's
not gonna
phylums, order, subspecies, species.
look. By the way, he is going to school right now, and apparently it
I
shows because he is studying and he
I
knows.
was a I was a zoology major before changing majors.
All right, well, I'm going to stop talking
Oh.
about that, and I'm going to leave it to you on any zoology because that's not my expertise, obviously. I could never get that right. I would get so confused when I had to do that because it literally. Can you name them all actually? Let's go through it. Let's go through.
The dog sharks
No, no,
or
no,
the
no. Like the order is like
oh god,
kingdom.
no! It's been so long since I've done them.
Okay,
We've named them all, just not in the right order, if I remember correctly.
okay.
Unless there's been new stuff added.
I was gonna put you on the spot. But I'm not gonna look it up for you guys. If you guys do want to know the classification on them, I don't even know what you put them on, but you can easily find it. Learn yourself something. Learn how it goes through. But yeah, 119 species of dogfish sharks, or at least in that order. But as we wrap up for this, thank you guys for coming along. And I don't know if I ever thank you guys enough for last year or upcoming year or even now, but thank you guys for helping. I know, like I said, when you guys came on, no one really applied for a moderator position or a leadership position or whatever you
You
want to
just
call it.
kind of you just kind of grabbed the first seven or eight of us that joined for the most part.
No, I stop it. I wasn't like, oh, you're in. Let me grab you, desperate. It was, like I said, you guys all did something. Like I said, and I know Forrest, I know that you didn't do like the storyboard or something like that, and but I do want to say how appreciative I am of you for joining. 'Cause like I said, I know at that time you're really helpful, and again, I know you're busy now. We all are. Like I said, we all have lives, work. We have school work to do. We have a lot of things to do. So it's really, I mean, we're all just doing this on a volunteer basis. But I know at that time you said you didn't have much to do. You know, it was COVID. Your roommate was moving out, but you're a huge help on kind of directing people for that first year and kind of keeping spirits up. I did mention in the first session of this that everybody loves elves, and I'm pretty sure that you guys can say that too. No one can
Mhm.
like dislike elves, but I think if there's a male counterpart to elves in the community for us, it would be you. I know a lot of people right now probably don't know who you are because you are lurking right now because you're extremely busy. I don't even get to talk to you that much. Same
I
with you, Seb. I don't get to talk to you much either. Um,
much to my name, I stick to the forest.
uh, but you were extremely helpful with the first year and engaging a lot of people. There would be times when I'd be, of course, working and stuff like that, and you had time available. You would be helping a lot of people. I'd be coming back, and there'd be answers in the chat, and honestly, I think one of the first things that you ever did was when we had like less than 10 people, you were one of the first people to actually assist me in telling people where to go in the channels because the channels were still vastly like we had like maybe like 10 channels at that time. But if someone says, "Oh, hey, I need information on a charity," you said, "Go to charity inquiries. Go to this page, or I'll answer some questions for you." So like I said, you definitely helped because at least I knew that when I was away, and this is before you even were a moderator, is while I was away, I knew that there was someone there that would be willing to help others, which is what I kind of want as well, which Sebastian mentioned was like community. And which is why I guess, if anything, you'd be more like a community relations type of person. But
PR.
yeah, PR, you'd be our public relations person, you know? Um, But yeah, like I said, I just want to thank you guys so much for at least joining because, like I said, I didn't know really what this event would have been without you guys. If it was just me, I'll be honest, it would have crashed and burned so hard, and there wouldn't
I
have been
don't
a
see
second year.
I don't see how one person could have done this alone. There's people out there
Yeah.
probably that are like super workaholics
Yeah,
that could probably do it, but
nothing is impossible. It's just,
I don't know. Flying
yeah,
without a plane is pretty hard.
uh, that's true.
Hold on, I have a cannon in the back. Let's test that.
We don't have gliders we can pull out of our back pocket.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it would have crashed and burned. There definitely would have been a second year. I could probably say that for a fact. Again, all the art that you've seen, I couldn't have done that for sure. So, like I said, there's even a tribute to that I wouldn't have been able to do the promotional materials. Storyboard, I wasn't even thinking about a storyboard. So when Seb decided he was going to do one, oh, that worked. I wasn't even planning a promotional video. I kind of decided the whole lot of this on a whim, and people said, "Hey, let's do it." And I had a few people back me up. So again, I really didn't plan it out too much, but with you guys' help, it came to be what it is now. And with that, we are kind of at the end. But without everything that I had over here and kind of discussed, are there any closing statements that you guys like to say, maybe to the people that would be watching this? Again, I don't know how many people would be seeing this, but our Twitter is still active. There's people liking our tweets, so someone will see them. And eventually, maybe throughout the next year, people will be able to, we can redirect them back to what we do. But would there be any closing things you guys like to say? Anything else you'd like to add? Any other questions you'd like to revisit? Or maybe some you want to ask me? I don't think I've ever asked the first session, but maybe you guys have a question for me. I'll be more than happy to answer them,
Uh,
depending
I
on what
guess
they
I'll just
are.
I guess I'll say like I'd love to see some other communities pop up for other help species in need of help.
Hmm. There's definitely a lot out there, like I said, and there's always people that ask. I know someone asked before, I was like, what about trash pickup, or like of course the plastic and evading the oceans, and that's a great thing. Like we're donating to. I mean, we're not actively doing anything as bad as it sounds, but I mean we can each take our own part. Like I know the plastic rings for the sodas. If you will cut those up before throwing them away, that is a huge help. If you do get those in the plastic rings, cut them up so they don't entangle. But I do have a faith in that there's communities out there that are doing like what you said, that are maybe doing trash pickup and stuff. Unfortunately, there's so much that you can do. We're just donating to shark charities that are able to do well and help. But yeah, there are conservation
Yeah,
efforts for polar bears. There's so
yeah. If
much
you
that
want
you
to
can do.
do something for the Arctic animals, if you want to make a Discord server about birds because of the hollow bird
Yeah,
group. If you want to do that, do that.
yeah, for sure. What about you, Seb? Anything for you
Yeah.
in closing?
No, I'm trying to think of something, but I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah,
Other than Let's Go Shark Week 2022.
that is true.
Boo.
And I won't mess up the closing because I don't know if you guys seen the first one, but I didn't know what the closing statement was, so I said "same nada" because I was too stupid and I didn't realize that "otu same" was a thing, because it's again I completely blanked, and this is why I have people around me to correct. But I will state, nobody, I think, in the first group did correct me saying "otu same," so I said "same nada," which doesn't sound bad. I will copyright that for, but it doesn't sound bad. Um, and I think I did check with Els. It doesn't mean anything bad because it is kind of a mashup of Japanese words. I don't want to be like swearing. But yeah, that'd be so bad. It's like that'd be your department though. If I say anything, that you'd be on the PR department, so you'd have to
He
cover
did
my.
not say this. It is fake news.
You did
You are
not
being
say this.
fooled by you are being fooled by media.
Yeah,
It's not archived in our podcast. It's not there for you to listen to.
yeah. We're just
It
gonna do a
never
quick scrub.
happened.
You're just gonna see a quick jump of the time frame. It's gonna be, oh, there's something that happened here. It's gonna be a cut frame from the whole thing. Um, but yeah, other than that, like I said, yeah, let's go Shark Week 2022. I think is be a great sign off for this one instead of Otosame. I think that'd be a great one because I am looking forward to Shark Week 2022, and not to get ahead of ourselves, maybe Shark Week 2023, depending on how we're feeling after this. We're taking it pretty much 1 year at a time, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have another moderator in at that time. Again, we'll see. Maybe lots more people for JP Bros, but there's lots of things that we can do for the 2022 year, as we stated. And maybe we won't get all of them, but if we can get a good majority or any improvement, that is a step in the right direction. So I am Blackstar 300, and we have BlackForest and Sebastian, who are great members of the team. And if you do join, give them a hello and a shout out, and thank them for bringing this together. And that being said, let's go Shark Week 2022. Bye.
Ooh, I
Let's
can't yell because
go.
it's like 11 o'clock at my time.
Yeah, shh, whisper. Bye, guys.
I have kids above me, so bye.